Good morning. I'm Harley Schlanger from the LaRouche organization with your daily video update for June 1st, 2026. Let me start with an announcement about some of the reasons that you've not been seeing the daily update recently. A number of you have commented to me that you can't find it in your queue, that it seems to be a subject of an algorithmic attack or shadow banning or something of the sort, which is likely true. But in the last few days, we also had technical problems getting the update posted. We're back today, and I want to urge you to make sure that you look for the daily update at the LaRoucheOrganization.com if it doesn't show up in your Facebook or YouTube uh, ordinary site, and to make sure you share it, because what we're doing and what we're talking about, as you'll see from the report today, is critical that it be spread and discussed by everyone you know. Now, over the weekend, the Schiller Institute held a conference in Berlin. I was privileged to be there to participate in it. There were more than 150 people attending from many, many countries. There were speakers from 15 countries, including former government officials and activists, intellectuals, and so on. Scholars. It was an extraordinary event because it was so timely. The topic was essentially how to avoid a new world war by establishing a new security and development architecture, which has been the theme of the Schiller Institute, and in particular, the passionate commitment of the founder of the Schiller Institute, Helga Zepp-LaRouche, to make sure that we have a solution to move out from this current path toward destruction of humanity and civilization. Now, Helga gave the keynote, and she was the first but not the only speaker to call attention to the danger of war, but even more importantly, the need to spread the message that war is already underway and could become a nuclear war to annihilate mankind. But that also the solution to this is to be outspoken, to join with us and other anti-war networks, but not just anti-war, those who are looking to provide a peaceful solution based on cooperating on the fundamental principles of why we have a human race, why God created human beings, to intervene in space, in the universe, to create a more wholesome and potential development environment for human beings. That's what the fight is. It's not just to stop a psychotic sociopath or to plant a few seeds. It's to create the kind of world where the future is guaranteed to be better because of the application of principles of physical economy. Now, after saying that, let me just give you a little bit of a sense of what was discussed. I mean, one was where the war danger comes from, which is primarily from the corporate cartels of the City of London and Wall Street, how to prevent it, and how to establish a new security and development architecture. In addition to Helga Zepp-LaRouche's keynote, there were major contributions from Zhang Weiwei, a Chinese professor who discussed the example of how to move to a win-win collaboration. And the example he gave was how China and the ASEAN nations are working together to collaborate in ways that have mutual benefit. Chaz Freeman, a former U.S. ambassador and diplomat, he was an ambassador to Saudi Arabia, he gave an extremely eloquent presentation on why the approach of the Schiller Institute is something that will work, and it needs to be carried out. Pino Arlacchi, he's a candidate for the new Secretary General of the UN Security Council, and he discussed the changes that need to be made in the United Nations. Dr. Theodore Postel, a nuclear expert who discussed why nuclear war is a real danger if we don't change from the current paradigm. There were other people that made very powerful interventions. I keynoted the third panel titled The End of 500 Years of European Colonization. And my topic was the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, which was a movement against empire, a movement against the European colonial system, which still exists to this day and which has been at war with the American system ever since the time of the Declaration of Independence, and actually before that. And I also discussed the fraud of the special relationship, focusing on the audacity and provocation of King Charles, who is a representative of the British Empire. He's a committed Malthusian, committed to population reduction, to wars that will reduce population, that he would be invited by President Trump to the United States in the year of the 250th anniversary of our founding document was a provocation. And then he came to talk about how the British system and the United States have common roots, when in fact, as I presented, there's an incompatible philosophical disconnect between the ideas behind the British Empire, of British philosophical radicalism, of Hobbes and Locke and Bentham and Hume, and the optimism about the nature of man and the idea that government is there for the pursuit of happiness, not for protecting property and aristocracy, that the American system is profoundly different. So this can give you some sense of we hope to have the transcripts out very quickly. Now, other noted speakers, the ambassadors from Ethiopia and Iran, and there was also a panel of youth from Africa who spoke about their hopes for the future. What was really key to the whole thing was the calm deliberation, the sense of urgency, but also calmness, knowing that there are solutions, starting with recognizing there is a war danger and acting to snap people out of their delusions. That is, people are miserable but seemingly indifferent. Now, one of the poignant moments was when the Iranian ambassador asked why there was no significant reaction in the West to the murder of more than 150 young Iranian girls in a strike by the United States. Another such moment was when historian Wolfgang Bittner spoke of the passive acceptance of Germans to the threat of war and to the deprivation of sovereignty after World War II, that the German population was put through a wringer and essentially told that having a sovereign nation is a threat to all mankind. So these are just a few of the examples of the discussion that took place there. The conference also included an evening panel Saturday with music and poetry from around the world, an example of the dialogue of cultures and the common interests expressed through poetic language and music of the International Brotherhood of All Mankind. So this was actually a very important moment in the midst of an ongoing war to have a chance to reflect on what it is we were really fighting for. Now, it's clear that the people who attended came away with an understanding that we're fighting for the interests of all people, from all nations, and that this idea of win-win cooperation, of a new security and development architecture, is something which is actually coming into existence. There's not enough resistance yet to the war hawks and corporate cartels of the new globalism to defeat it. But we're moving in that direction. But more importantly is let's make sure the ideas of the potential for a move into a new paradigm is available to everyone. That's what we're doing at the Schiller Institute. That's what the LaRouche organization is doing. And we're calling on you to join with us, share our videos, subscribe to the Executive Intelligence Review, make the people around you smarter and more human. That's the organizing process that can get us out of this otherwise existential dilemma that says that if we don't submit, we'll be killed. And you see that every time President Trump makes a threat against Iran. He says, we're going to have great relations. It's going to be great for Iran. But if you don't do it, we're going to obliterate you. That's not diplomacy. That's thuggery. And that is the outlook which guarantees there won't be solutions. But that doesn't reflect the true American outlook on the world. And as I pointed out, that American outlook was shaped by the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, which says that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and are endowed with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And what does it mean to pursue happiness? Well, it means we have to break free from the British Empire, break free from any imperial system which says that you must do things that benefit an aristocracy. Today that means the billionaire class of the Epstein people. Now, to do that, you have to change the way you think and change the way the people around you think and organize them to recognize that, as it states in our Declaration of Independence, that we are seeking the pursuit of happiness, that means to be human, to take joy in the fact that a resolution to this crisis is possible. And as I concluded my presentation, I said we have to do this, face these challenges the American way. Be happy. So thanks for listening today. Again, share this video. Let people know what we're doing and what you're doing to bring about this change in world history away from the 500 years of European colonization to an era of peace and prosperity based on the ideas of the founding fathers of the United States as embedded in our constitutional tradition, as well as in other cultures where similar outlooks exist.